Should the Washington Wizards take a chance on Bronny James with the 26th overall pick or with the 51st pick if he drops that low? We're going to talk about it next on Locked On Wizards.
You are Locked On Wizards, your daily Washington Wizards podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Brendan Scott again, and I appreciate you guys making Locked On Wizards your first listen every single day. We are free and available wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. And tonight's episode is brought to you by LinkedIn. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the qualified candidates you want to talk to faster. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/LockedOnNBA. That's linkedin.com/LockedOnNBA to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. All right, everybody. We're gonna ask an important question today. So this is the live topic for the Friday Q&A. Should the Washington Wizards take a chance on Bronny James with the 26th overall pick or the 51st overall pick if he drops that low? So we're gonna explore those questions, and I'm gonna give you my answer and to see if we shall indeed be giving Bronny James a chance in the NBA draft. So Will Dawkins, our general manager, Will Dawkins of the Washington Wizards, was on a podcast, a running back podcast, that has people like Lou Williams and other people who are past players or analysts. And on the running back podcast, they asked Will Dawkins about Bronny James. And he said that, would you take a chance on Bronny James if it indeed led to LeBron James also coming to your team? And he said that, look, when we look at Bronny James, we're looking at him for him. We're not looking at him for any connection to his dad. We're looking at him, like we would any other prospect. So let's dig into Bronny James real quick. This is his player profile. Now, Bronny James is 6'1", really 1.5 inches, but we're going to say 6'1". He can play the point guard and the shooting guard positions. Now, analysts have described his shooting and defense as his main strengths, right? Even though because he lacks size of most NBA players with his skill set. He excels in catch and shoot situations and is also capable of shooting off of movement. He can defend point guards, and his defensive anticipation and intensity has been praised. So, a couple of comps that people have given to Bronny was DeAnthony Melton, Lonzo Ball, and Drew Holiday. Lord. So looking at the stats from the 2023-2024 NCAA season at USC, he played in 25 games, starting 6 of them. He averaged around 19 minutes per game. He shot 36% from the field, 26% from three, 67% from free throw, while averaging 2.8 rebounds, 2.1 assists, and then 0.8 steals a game while scoring 4.8 points a game. Now, we're also going to look at a comment that was made by Rich Paul, who is his agent and his dad's agent. In a recent interview, Rich Paul, LeBron, and Bronny's agent again, told Bleacher Report's Chris Haynes that Bronny wouldn't sign a 2-way contract coming out of the draft. "Quote unquote, yes, that's absolutely true," Paul said when asked about the 2-way deal. "Teams know that. I'm not doing that." So let's get into it, everybody. Should the Wizards indeed take a chance on Bronny James at the 26th overall pick or the 51st pick if he falls to that level? Now, there are 2 ways to look at this, right? Number one, like general manager Will Dawkins said, the chances are he's going to come here solo. That if you draft Bronny to DC, it's going to be for him. Because obviously, look, I'm not going to get into the possibility of LeBron James coming to the Washington Wizards because I think there's a 0% chance. Even though he has made it known that he wants to play with Bronny at some point in his career, which I think is going to be hard, but I think that he has expressed a willingness to play with his son Bronny. But again, I'm not going to explore the possibility of LeBron James coming here because I don't think it's going to happen. Because again, we are a rebuilding team, and even if we brought it in, all he would do is waste time. It's like MJ's time with the Wizards, where I get his MJ. To me, he's the GOAT. It's exciting time, but we weren't a playoff team. And you could argue that MJ's presence on the Wizards as a player, not as an exec, really curtailed the progression and the development of players like Kwame Brown, where obviously now he's a punchline. But could you imagine if the Washington Wizards actually properly developed Kwame Brown? To me, he could have been a 2010 guy. So I'm getting back to LeBron James. I don't think that's possible. I don't think that's an option. I think that if they take a chance on Bronny, it's him by himself as a prospect. Now, First of all, they do not want to sign a two-way contract. Now, to me, I would bring Bronny here if he indeed would start out in the Cap City Go-Go. Because again, looking at his stat line, he averaged less than 5 points a game. Look, he does have some potential. I will say that. He's got potential. He's not his dad. He's not a forward. He's a guard. So you got to kind of look at him not in the frame of his dad, in the frame of who he is. He's a guard. And you see the vision, you see the scoring capability, but he's very raw, man. And he's going to take a lot of development. And to me, if you bring him here to DC, I would like to see him work his way through the Capital City Go-Go, which obviously with his name will bring a lot of notoriety to the Capital City Go-Go. Now, look, there's a two-way street on that, right? Because the Capital City Go-Go has shown that they can develop guys, they can get guys ready to play with the Wizards if the chance happens, if injuries happen. If you look at a lot of players that came up, Quentin Jackson, I mean, the list goes on, of guys who have come up through the Capital City Go-Go and played meaningful minutes with the Wizards. So there's been a lot of names. I mean, a lot of young talent there. Obviously, Diallo's down there. RJ Hampton was with the Capital City Go-Go, and Jordan Goodwin got an NBA standing contract, formerly come from the Go-Go. So and looking at Jared Butler, another name of a guy who spent a lot of time between the Washington Wizards and it's the Capital City Go-Go, and it showed that. Look, I said all the time, and I said it for the last couple of years, that a lot of love has to go towards Amber Nichols, the GM of the Capital City Go-Go, because they have done a great job of getting guys ready to play when the need arises. They've come up to the Wizards and they played meaningful minutes. And like I said, they've done a great job dealing with the depth of young talent that the Wizards have and getting them ready to play. So I think that it best serves him that he starts in the G League. I think that he's definitely a talent that needs to start in the G League. I mean, the name, we get it, the name. And it's tough being the kid of LeBron James. I don't really envy him because obviously a lot is put on his shoulders, and a lot of it he didn't ask for. But it did, but do I see him right now as a talent to come up and take up a spot on the Wizards? No, I don't. And like I said, I see the potential with Bronny, but I don't see him as a guy who's going to take up minutes from Patrick Baldwin Jr. or Jared Butler. Or I don't see that. Maybe he could, but I don't think that place is in Washington. I think that if they take a chance on Bronny, it's got to be without LeBron James because he doesn't fit the timeline. And even if we brought him here, yeah, he will sell tickets. Okay. But he has shown in LA that he needs all-star talent beside him to win championships. He's not going to come to DC and just like, Michael Jordan, where he had his fair share of role players in Chicago, but, he couldn't even make the Wizards a playoff team. So it's going to take more than just LeBron James to make us a relevant team outside the ticket sales. So why even do that? Why hold up the development for for players like Denny Avdia, for Bilal Coulibaly? Yeah, I don't see him fitting here at any way, in any fashion. I don't want to see LeBron James in the Wizards jersey. I'm sure there's people out there that say, "Yeah, I'll bring him in here," but if we're rebuilding, what's the point of that? You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to curtail rebuild, then you might as well go out and get talent and ship a lot of these young guys out. And I think that is just, if you did all that, then why did you revitalize the whole situation with the front office? It's just, so I think that LeBron James we don't have a need for him here. And if you indeed want to take a chance with Bronny, man, it needs to be Bronny by himself. And looking at the comments from Rich Paul, they're not doing a two-way contract. So, that is something to change. When people fall out the first round, that changes people's minds. So, Bronny, takes a slide into the second round and he's available at the 51st pick. I think if the Wizards indeed want to take a chance on him, they need to be very transparent with his agent and say, look, we're going to make a move, but he's going to start out with the Cap City Go-Go. And look, like I said, he'll bring notoriety to the Cap City Go-Go, bring some ticket sales. Obviously being a child of LeBron James, but he can play. He's got to be developed. He's very far from being NBA ready. I personally don't think he should even be in the draft. I thought that he should go back into the transfer portal and go to another college program, in my opinion. I don't think he's ready. But if he indeed is content or in intent on coming to the NBA, I mean, it best serves him to start in the G League. I don't understand, because just really, I can't look at any situation in any team in the NBA where he can play minutes and automatically be a better player. He needs to be developed. Don't get it twisted. Bronny James has to be developed. He's very raw. And even if you look at his 1 year at USC, he didn't even average 5 points. So, if I mean, he's got to be developed. And I don't see him sitting on the second unit and developing, because he's got a learning curve. I mean, physically, he's got ways to go to be able to match up with most of your second team point guards. Let's be real. I mean, Could he roll with Jared Butler? And I'm not trying to throw no shade on Bronny, man, but I'm keeping it 100. So live topic for today, we're going to chop it up. We're going to get into the Q&A. I'm going to answer your questions. We're going to talk about it. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think the Wizards should take a chance on Bronny James if he indeed comes here solo and not with his dad, LeBron James? So before we get into chopping up what you guys like we always do on Fridays, tonight's episode is brought to you by LinkedIn. So when you're hiring for your small business, you want to find quality professionals that are right for the job. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs has the tools to help find the right professionals for your team faster and for free, because LinkedIn isn't just another job board. LinkedIn has a vast network of more than 1 billion professionals, which makes it the best place to hire. It gives you access to professionals you can't find anywhere else. LinkedIn does all of that while making the process easy and intuitive. Hiring is so easy that when you have that many quality candidates, so easy, in fact, that 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. So, like I said, I'm a catalyst for LinkedIn. I've tried every job website since getting out of the military in 2011, man, and just my whole time being a civilian, man, is that LinkedIn to me has been the most user-friendly, especially, I'm not the best at setting up a resume, so they really helped me put a lot of my past jobs, military service, qualifications into a resume that gave me a leg up on getting a job. So post your job for free at linkedin.com/LockedOnNBA. That is linkedin.com/LockedOnNBA to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Are you watching Fox Sports ESPN on your TV all day long? Have to turn on the volume with all that shouting? Make the switch today to Locked On Sports, a free 24/7 sports streaming channel programmed for you every day to bring you the biggest stories without all the screaming. Locked On Sports Today brings you can't-miss analysis, opinions, and news, streaming 24/7 on YouTube or the free Amazon Fire TV channels app. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. All right, everybody, let's get into it. Like I said, we have 20 people in here, but that is subject to change because we're definitely going to get more people into the chat. Let's start it off right. Area 11_T says, I heard a lot about us banking on Bilal's potential and expect a big leap for him next year. But what exactly is that supposed to look like? What do y'all expected? Easy. I definitely want to see him become more of a pest defensively, because you saw the potential with him defensively, that very polished defensively as far as his ability to get into passing lanes, his instincts, using his hands in defense, being a pest on defense. Definitely want to see him be more of a pest and, definitely take that next step defensively. Offensively, definitely a faster release on the shot, a better fluid shot. While if you look at his 3-point percentage was not bad, considering, he's very raw offensively. Definitely wanted to see him continue to attack the basket, learn how to finish through traffic, finish through contact. Definitely want to see him develop more vision. But, like I said, the primary areas I want to see him, really improve on is offensively. Now, defensively is not to say he doesn't need work. I want to see more consistency, but defensively, he's looking really, really good. And when you combine that with a guy who is very polished defensively, like Denny Avia, man, I think we got a really good tandem between those two on this young team, man. So, yeah, looking at Bilal, what am I expecting? Definitely him to get better offensively. And I think he will, whether he plays with Team France or in the Summer League. I think that, and really to me, I think Team France would give him the better opportunity to play against starting caliber guys, because there's going to be obviously starting caliber or starting players and all-stars playing for the respective countries. So I think playing for Team France would give him the best opportunity to really match up against all-star caliber talent. And I think that's the best course of action to really look at him taking the next step in his development. Appreciate the question, man. Shook Biz, what's good, homie? Says Bronny only for people to fill the seats. Yeah, I mean, that would be a big reason, because he's very raw, man. I mean, very, very raw. And the fact that right now, I think, to me, honestly, like I said, I think I like Bronny. I think that he's really in a tough spot because his dad is LeBron James. You know what I mean? Like, he's in a tough spot. But to me, I don't like the arrogance that you're not going to take a two-way contract. Like, come on, man. Let's be 100 here. You're not ready for the NFL, Lord. You're not ready for the NBA draft. You're not ready. You should definitely go to another program if you don't want to stay at USC. And to have this attitude, in one hand, I feel bad for him, and I see him as a humble young man who is just attached to a huge star, which is his dad. On the other hand, it's like, you have the audacity to say you're not going to take a two-way contract. You should feel blessed enough to be in the league because you're not ready. You should take any opportunity given to you, and that's just my humble opinion, to be honest with you. The Autism Boy Cottage 81 was good, man. How you doing tonight? Sup at Locked On Wizards. What's going on, man? How you doing? Salute to you, bro. Appreciate you taking the time to rock with me tonight, man. Robert Williams says, why not? They ruin the franchise every other time they had a chance. I guess you're pertaining to LeBron James. I think we stay where we're at. Let this front office rebuild. They're going to do it the right way. It's going to take time, but they're going to do it the right way. I say we stay on the current projection, man. Stay on the path we're on, man. I don't think we need a LeBron James here just for a year or two, and then we're going to end up having to rebuild again. So what's the point of that? So I think that I wouldn't do that, man. I just honestly would not do that, but I appreciate the comment. Again, I can't see anyone looking at him without hoping Daddy comes with. Yeah, I think that biggest thing that if I'm gonna look at teams that could right now, the report is I believe the Phoenix Suns have the number 22 overall pick. They are inviting Bronny James for a workout. Now, if you are familiar with the salary cap situation with the Phoenix Suns, I don't know how you bring LeBron James to the Phoenix Suns without having to move KD and or Devin Booker, or because Bradley Beal at this point is an untradeable asset. And he is not only the worst contract in the NBA, he's probably one of the worst contracts in the history of the NBA. So good luck with that problem. And, kudos to Will Dawkins, Michael Winger, and Travis Schlenk with getting that contract off the books, because that is an ugly contract. So they could have that problem. So LeBron James to Phoenix, I don't see it, man. I don't see it. And the Lakers ain't going to let that happen. The Lakers are going to give anything under the sun to LeBron James for him to go back to LA. And if that means drafting his son, which I think that there's a fair chance they do so, then that's what's going to happen, man. Because the Phoenix, the Lakers aren't going to let that happen. And they don't have the situation to make that happen. I mean, how many teams you really say, are really going to go out and get KD? Nothing against KD. KD is going to go down as a Hall of Famer. He's going to go down as one of the best scorers ever. But let's be real. He's never been the guy. And he's never been, he's been a number one option, but he's never been the guy. And teams aren't going to continue to put together trade packages for a guy that, again, kind of like LeBron, you need other all-stars around him. And even then, even looking at Brooklyn, and even his situation in Phoenix, doesn't always help him get a championship like it did in Golden State. So, and against KD, man, DC native, man, out of PG County, got a lot of love for him, man. So no shade at all. Let's see. Autism Boy College 81 said Bronny averaged 4.8 points per game in college. Yeah, it's I mean, the sample size is very small, but he's not ready. But you also said I completely think Bronny has the potential to be a starter in the NBA with time, maybe. But he's very raw. He's going to take time, man. It's going to take time for Bronny to be that guy, man. Let's see. Shugbiz said, I'm not even a pro, and I shoot a better free throw percentage. Boom. I'm with you, man. He's got to improve on all areas. That's what I'm saying. It behooves him to go back to college. I don't understand it, especially if you're not going to take a two-way contract. The arrogance about the comment, and maybe it's obviously probably more so on Rich Paul looking out for his client than it is Bronny saying that. So I'm not going to go on Bronny on about that, man. But it's arrogance, man. Like, really? You're not going to take a two-way contract? That's your best bet, in my opinion. So again, nothing on Bronny, man. I definitely think he should definitely get to a situation that's going to prioritize his development. Daryl Hardy, how you doing? It's been a while. We can give him a look, but just like everybody else, doesn't mean you select him, but he gets consideration. Amen, brother. I agree 100% with you. You treat him like any other prospect. You take a look at him, because I think that with proper development, he can develop. I don't know about a starter yet, but I think that with proper development, he can definitely be a good role player down the line. But that when I say down the line, I'm looking at probably a couple years, man, at the minimum, because he needs work. You see the potential, but he needs work. Magic Mix said Bronny sucks. I mean, to each his own with the opinions, baby. But he's at the NBA level. You can say that, man. I mean, I don't want to throw too much shade on young man, but he's not ready for the NBA, man. Daryl Harder also said his numbers in the combine and testing are very good. Absolutely. 3-point shots are excellent, but that's testing. Yeah, I mean, if you look at the combine, Daryl, you're absolutely correct, man. His combine was really good. His testing was really good. But, a lot of that didn't have a defender in his face, didn't force people to counter move and merely make him put the ball on the floor and develop a shot for himself. So I think that you definitely want to see more from him, as far as, especially with defense put on him, man. Autism Boy College 81 says, where they put him if they draft him? I mean, that's the question. You would have, if he's not going to take a two-way contract and A&D still get him, then you're going to put him on the second unit, and you put him in the same backcourt, the second unit with Jared Butler, but he's just not ready. He's not ready. I mean, it's a detriment to his development to play him on the Wizards right away. So, I mean, that's where he probably would start, man. And Daryl Hardy, last question before the ad. He said, interesting thing is he's not his father, so he can't negotiate terms with teams if he's drafted low. I agree with you. He's not his father. You got to look at him as a separate entity. He's his own man. And I agree with that. He is his own man. And he's made it known that he wants to be his own man. I think the people should respect that. He's not his dad. He's not even close to being the type of player his dad is. He's more of a guard. So, you got to look at it. So, yeah, I definitely agree with that, man. So we're going to get into more questions and comments. But before we do, tonight's episode is brought to you by eBay Motors. So, passion, drive, and patience, the formula for winning championships, is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level up to peak performance. Superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has you covered with over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die. You'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with the eBay Guarantee Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash, baby. And with all the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to make your car the MVP and bring home huge wins. So keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit only available to U.S. customers. All right, everybody, let's get back into it. I'm going to try to knock out every question and comment tonight. So let's see. A lot of good comments. So let's see. Polo Style said, no. Heck no. I am with you on that. The free thinkers also the saying no. I definitely agree on that. Let's see. More no's. I mean, I'm with you guys, man. Like I said, nothing against Bronny, man, but if he's not gonna take a two-way deal, then I don't see where he fits on this team. And like I said, I gotta do my due diligence, look at every prospect. And tonight, I felt like this was the perfect kind of platform to have a debate on whether he should be here or not. So, but I don't think he should, man. And that's me personally. I just don't think he fits any kind of timeline for us, man. Now, because he won't take a two-way contract, and that's now you can say he kind of does fit a timeline because we're in year 2 of a rebuild, but still, you're not. And I'm gonna get off him about the two-way contract, but I think that's so arrogant, man. Let's see. Fred Fezzo, what's good, man? Bronny should not be on the Wiz radar, even if he has 2 dads. You a trip, man. Let's see. Lock the Law says some of you are far too nice. James Kidd isn't even G League material right now. No, I agree with you, Lock the Law. Right now, I don't think he's ready. I mean, I think that if you indeed draft him, he starts in the G League. That is his starting point. But he's very raw. And you can argue that if he can't average 5 points in a major college program like USC, then what are we talking about? So I'm with you on that. Dan7 Eco 84 says, I believe Bronny could be a still hidden gem, but first round, definitely not that. Kid, second round at best right now. I agree with you. I definitely agree with you on that. I think if properly developed, he could be a still to a certain degree, but he's got to be developed. So I agree with you that, if he, the second round is definitely his best bet, but he's got to take a two-way contract. He's got to start in the G League, man. So that is definitely what I'm thinking. So we got a few more. So I'm gonna do 3 more comments. I'm at the last 3. If I get more, we got one more. My guy, the Autism Boy, Cottage 81 was good, man. So we're gonna knock out. See, Bronny seems like a good player in the NBA. Not right away, man. Not right away. Like I said, I mean, for a guy to contribute for the NBA roster, you got to come into the league somewhat polished and accomplished at the previous level. If you can't score 5 points at USC, why would I make you a pro? And that's just me personally. I would definitely start out in the G League with him, man, and I'm being 100 with you, man. So we're going to do 2 more. Dan7 Eco 84 said, I don't think we should draft him, but something tells me he's going to shock a lot of people. I think that this offseason, this draft, this process this year with Will Dawkins and Michael Winger is going to shock people. There's going to be some moves made, man. There's going to be some definite changes. You definitely can see a vet like Kyle Kuzma being moved. I think that Jordan Poole will get interest, but I think that he's a long-term fit here. Denny's going to get some interest. And I think that, could he get moved if the price is right? They said Bilal is probably the only untouchable commodity. But me personally, I would like to retain both Jordan Poole and Denny Avia. I don't want to see them moved because I think they're both fit the timeline and they're both really young, great pieces for this team going forward, man. So Locked on Law says 0 and 82. Lord, I hope not, man. That's gonna be a long year, man, for those live shows after the game, man. Let's see. Ratax_X. Let's be real. Johnny Davis is better than him. Means a lot. Yeah, he is. And that says a lot, doesn't it? I mean, I'm just being 100 with you. I mean, you're absolutely correct. And if he's better than him, what does that tell you about where he's at right now? I mean, because Johnny Davis was a lot more accomplished in college than Bronny ever was. And that's being 100, man. And like I said, I don't want to throw shade on the young man because I feel like he deals with enough, has enough pressure. But look, that's another thing, man. This ain't USC. This ain't NCAA. You step into an NBA court, you step into an NBA media room, you step into an NBA arena, you're going to deal with the noise. And he's got to be able to have that, have some toughness, man, because especially with him being LeBron James' kid, man, he's going to come into a situation, man, where people are going to try him. I mean, look at the Ball brothers, man. People, when Lonzo came in, man, people were checking him from day one. But that's because his dad did so much as far as trying to create this buzz around them. And what what the Ball brothers' dad did was put a target on the back. So, and that's going to be more, because the Ball brothers' dad, what do you average, like a point in college? You're talking about LeBron James' kid. So, that, for all the love he's going to get, the shade is going to be even more. So that's one thing he needs to consider, that, look, you get drafted and you didn't even score 5 points in college. What do you think people are going to give it to you in the crowd? Other players are going to give it to him. So it behooves him to try in the G League. It behooves him really to go back to college because, look, you step up with the big boys, man. Look, Patrick Beverly's going to get up in your face. A lot of these guys you're going to have a chip on the shoulder because a lot of people are going to feel like he got drafted because of who he is, because he's clearly not ready for the next level. So, he's got to be really, really willing to, be able to stomach a lot of that, man, because it ain't gonna be easy. It is not gonna be easy, man. So I'm gonna do one more. I always say that, but I love talking to you guys, so I'm gonna do one more, man. And then we're gonna start off our Friday like we always do. Locked on Law, you're that guy. I think we need to admit that they'll be taken again because 1 week draft ain't where it's at. Yes, this is a beautiful, beautiful developmental draft, and we're gonna find 3 guys, depending on trades or other moves made in this draft, but we're going to find 3 players that this front office and this coaching staff and his developmental staff is going to get these guys right. So we're going to find 3 guys we're going to develop. But yeah, obviously all eyes are on next year's draft with Cooper Flagg and kind of the draft off of that with Cameron Boozer. But you still would have hit this draft. Now I get it; it's a weak draft. You still want to hit it though, because if you're failing in a weak draft, what's that tell you? So if there's any draft you want to hit, it's a weak draft because it makes scouting and developing that much more pivotal, to really find those jewels in the rough, those hidden gems, man. So I think that anything you definitely want to hit on a weak draft, man. So, and my guy, the Autism Boy College 81 says, correct, Locked on Wizards. Appreciate you, bro. So we're going to call it there, man. I definitely appreciate everybody like we do every Friday, man. I do live topics, do live Q&A. So I definitely like chopping up with you guys on Friday night, man. So look, man, this Woodford Reserve is kind of giving me the evil eye, man. So let's go ahead and call it there. So, definitely appreciate you guys again. Rock on me on a Friday, man. So I hope everybody has a blessed and safe weekend. Definitely drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive. Definitely have fun for all you family people, man. Definitely have fun with the kids and have fun with the family. So definitely, I will see you guys Sunday. But I will be releasing a video on Monday. But with Monday being Memorial Day, I'm definitely gonna be honoring a lot of my fellow guys who've in the military, man. So I definitely, it's a big day for me, man. It's a really hard day. So I'm gonna release a video on Monday, but I would not be recording on Monday. So but I will see you guys on Sunday, man. So again, appreciate you guys. So Locked On has launched the first ever national sports 24/7 streaming channel on YouTube, and that's also available on Amazon Fire TV and the free Fire TV channels app. Man, that's a lot of words. Locked On Sports Today is here for you 24/7, covering the top sports stories of the day with the local experts of Locked On, plus our national shows covering every league. Find Locked On Sports Today now available on the free Fire TV channels app. So again, appreciate you guys, man. I will see you guys on Sunday. We're going to talk about Isaiah Collier. We're going to talk about the 26th pick and some options at the 51st pick. So rock with your boy like you always do. Love you guys. You guys enjoy your weekend. Hail to the Wizards and peace. See you guys next time.